Yeah, it would be good to know. So I'm gonna take a look into this. I'm not very, I'm not very hopeful, but if it works, then this would be really, really good, because
Yeah, I'll
this
give it
is
a
the
try as well.
best it can get. You don't have any other alternate to this. I mean, there is, but that's really horrible.
It
So
is.
the alternate to that is scrolling to an exact text, which if you have multiple texts with the same name, you are going to run into issues, because if your text is down there and the first text that it comes to is something you don't want, and it's going to click that one, and it's not going to go all the way down there. I believe that's how it operates. So
Yeah, that's kind of an amateur way of handling it, I would
yeah,
say so.
so I was not satisfied with that, but it works. So for now, I guess we're okay till we figure out how to use this. So think this is the I think this is how it will be, because I didn't really see anything that's better than this. Like, setting up wise. I don't know. Let's see. Um,
I think you're right. I've done my research as well. I've spent, I don't know how many hours on this thing, and I just couldn't find a clear answer other
uh,
than this or scroll to. That these were the two solutions to it.
yep, yep. There are some people who are sending the random GitHub links, but the most of their stuff didn't even make sense. One guy was doing some asserts. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to swipe to an element. You're
Yeah.
doing asserts. What? Oh well. Anyway, let's go back to our framework, and for the GrabUp app, now let's just quickly, as I was saying, now we need to access that track your order. Um, so let's create a method for that. We can actually get rid of this. We don't need to print it, since now we know that it is in there. Um, so public, and we're going to return the track your order type. And in here we call it u track. Sorry, track your order. There you go. And inside of here, we can actually just copy the button burger and paste it. And we need to again call that list up there to initialize it. Otherwise, it's going to give us a null pointer exception. And then this time we need to access the first index. I'm sorry, the second index. The first is 0, second is 1. And let's leave it again. Actually, I can copy it. Yeah, let's be lazy. And you have to have an exception and return new track order. Okay, there we go. So now we need to, we could create a new class. Could do it in here. Let's just create a new class, I guess. So in UI testing, you can create a new class and call it testing track your order. And in here, you can do the same thing. I'm not gonna actually go ahead and test it. Actually, I should, because I'm not sure if it does contain track your orders. But let's try it out. Let's try it out. Why not? Test.
You want to extend the class?
Oh yeah, let's so extend navigate menu. Okay. Track your order. Z, um, and so again, let me just copy our initializations since we're using the same ones. Sorry, okay. And so we're accessing login, and then one thing we need is what is next? We need U. So this time we're getting U track your order, right? And I don't think I have anything in the other methods, and you need to add an exception. Um, so basically, what we'll be doing is just going to U track your order, clicking on accessing this method, and it'll be clicking on the bird burger, and then it'll be getting the second element and clicking on it, and then sleeping for 3 seconds, and it should terminate after that. So this time, let's comment this out, and let's use that class. UI testing, yeah, UI testing dot track your order, right? So this one, and let's get rid of that. Okay, so let's run it, and let's see. Actually, I have it running, right? Yep. There we go. Yeah, because each page will be different, and since you'll be having methods and elements specifically for that page, and you will have, a bunch of different things to do. So it's better to create a separate class where you can test all those different items.
To add more to this, Rashid, it really depends on the kind of, the kind of test plan you have. Maybe you just want to have one test class for testing all the menu items, and then you have separate classes for testing each like menu item and that page, that specific page. So for that, you'll be going to that page and testing whatever is part of that page. So it really depends on your requirements, your test requirements, your test plan, how, you'll be executing the whole thing. Based on that, you'll decide if you want to go for one class to test all the menus, or you want to do separate classes and test each single menu, something like that.
Yep, so we were successfully able to click on track your order. And yeah, but what Bilal said was very correct. Yep. So all you have to do is, it depends on how you are creating your test plan. So if you want to test all, as you said, all the menu items in one class, you could do that. But if it gets too big, maybe you want to split it up, or that honestly depends upon you on how you set up your test plan.
Really, exactly. That really depends on how you have planned your test plan, and how you want to execute it. It really depends on you. Both ways, they're not bad, but again, this way it's kind of scalable uh, in a better way. If you have separate classes, then you're not only testing the menu items, and inside it you would have different, different case test methods for each page, for each menu, for each wherever you'll be navigating for, let's say you want to track your order. So you're not only going to the track order page. So that means by doing that, you're not only testing the menu and the menu item and the menu link, you'll also be testing whatever is part of the track order and whatever functions are there,
Right.
kind of idea.
Yep. So it's like a layer upon a layer. So it's like you're going into another layer, and then you're doing a bunch of things in that inside of that layer. That's the purpose of UI, and then according to that, that's how you'd be setting up your test plan, right? So maybe you would say, hey, I don't want everything inside scheduled orders. I want everything separately. Maybe you say, hey, everything inside the menu items, I want it under one class, and I want to be executing it under one test class. So you could do that as well, or you could, if you want it, in an orderly manner, in a structured manner, you would say, hey, I want separate classes for each and every UI page I have. So all the menu items, you'll be testing it in separate classes, like I'm doing it right here. This is separating it in separate classes. The other way would be, maybe testing everything under one class. I'm not sure. I don't know if in professional environments they actually test I don't know, 1,000 cases in one class, or like 100 cases in one class. I assume they would not be doing that. That's a lot of test cases to keep track of, but you never know. If you have very good page factories and set up, maybe your test cases just look like this, like a few lines. So then having one class only have a bunch of test cases would be like sort of a waste. So maybe if your hierarchy is really well set up, you might just stash a bunch of test cases in one class, because you'll be able to keep track of them.
Furqan, I must say it was really great explanation. Not just explanation, the way you set up your framework, it's really nice. I mean, I think it's like an example for everyone how a framework should be, even for web or mobile, whatever the case is. This is, guys, I mean, a really good framework setup that he's done. And I mean, again, the way he's explained it, I mean, a lot of effort has gone into it. Definitely, man. Thank you.
Uh,
I definitely learned a lot today.
Honestly, I learned a lot from you too. Your sessions helped me a lot, a lot. I was very lost at Selenium, and then that week you were doing like a couple of mentoring, and then I attended those, and it made a lot of things clear for me. How to create elements, how to find them, your page factories, all of that I learned from your mentoring sessions. Trust me, I
Thank you.
was really lost in I was really lost in class those days, because some things we went over really fast, and
We
Yep.
did. We did go over, in the class, we did go over a lot of things, and I mean, a lot faster than what we were doing in mentoring sessions. But I think this is a good thing about Mafi Bhai, how he's, setting up all these mentoring sessions. I mean, he's kind of forcing us to do it. I don't think they're doing it for any other module. I'm not sure, I mean, if QTP
Uh,
people are doing this way or not.
QTP, they do like after classes, they're doing these group session discuss. It's called group discussion, but honestly, they're not doing much. I've seen those, but no, there are no like webinar like these sessions are, in the portfolio you have this section where you have to do some
Yes.
mentoring. It's only
And
specifically for
he's,
those.
helping us. He's giving us the opportunity to fill up our portfolio, to to be able to get the resume,
Exactly.
to qualify for it. Otherwise, what we'll have to do, go on to forums, request for these sessions. He's setting it up for us. I mean, how I mean, he's being very helpful. And in the
That's true.
class, you know what? Basically, in other words, what he meant, that everyone just show me something so that I can recommend everyone. He
Everyone,
basically
right, right,
wants
right.
to recommend everyone, but he can't do it. I mean, he's kind of forced to see something. Otherwise, he can't do it. He was kind of, begging you guys to, show him some progress so that he can, name everyone and to be able to get the resume and everything.
Even in the Hangouts, he typed in, if he's willing to give you
Yeah.
time during the week to actually check your framework. So by the next list he creates, he has all your names with recommendations, so you can get your resume faster. Oh, by the way,
He
Bilal,
replies yeah,
did you send your resume yet? I haven't
I,
done it.
I did. I
Oh,
did.
oh, okay. I have my resume, but I haven't sent it yet, so I think I should do it by tonight.
Everyone should do it. I think, I mean, especially people who've presented their, framework. I'm really, hopeful that he's gonna name me. He's gonna put my name in the first list.
I'm pretty
But
sure you are there.
I know everyone should do it, especially who have presented something. People who have done something, they know that they can be on the list, so they should, kind of present, or they should send their resume kind of right away.
Yep, definitely. Just update your resumes if you already have some. Otherwise, just create one from scratch. It's not nothing that hard. It'll take you like maybe an hour, 2 hours just to set it up.
I people who kind of recommended me, or I have friends who've done this, the QTP thing. They kind of had to, go through the counselor and ask them, send them a couple of emails, follow up on the for maybe a couple of weeks. Then they were able to get the resume. I mean, Mafi Bhai, he's helping us, get the resume. He's gonna talk with the management to issue the resume as soon as possible for whoever he thinks deserves the most. I mean, how what else do you want from this guy?
Right, and he's not even looking at your like a whole working framework with the hundreds of test
No,
cases. He's just
no,
looking at a demo. He just wants you. He just wants to see if you understand what your framework is doing, what is what, and that's all he did basically.
yeah.
As long as you have that, how will we know? Well,
You would know. I can tell. I think Rashid family, you guys would be on the list because you did show a lot of things. I mean, all together, all three of you guys, whatever was missing, you just show him that, and I mean that's it. You guys already had a lot of things done in your modules, as far as I remember. I mean, again, I can't say for sure. I mean,
right.
he knows what he's gonna do or not. But I think yours was really. I mean, you were kind of you were on the right path at least. You guys demonstrated that you can create a framework, you can run it through Maven and stuff. I think you've done that, right? The Maven and the Jenkins thing. If you've done that, if even if you said yes, or if you told him that yes, I understand the blah blah blah, this is how it works, he would still take it. This is what I assume.
Yeah, if you tell me I was able to run through Maven and Jenkins, which is not very hard either. You just it's like a bunch of lines of code you have to add in your POM XML.
Exactly.
Um, I think as long as you show your framework and you show your basic understanding behind the framework, he's fine with it. And, he's like, you're ready. And
Yes.
honestly, if you go to websites and you start taking a look at some of the Selenium code, their code is horrible. Like they're using the
Very basic.
driver.findby in test cases. Like, why are you doing that? It doesn't look nice. They don't have these complicated framework setup. These this is actually
Yeah.
pretty advanced
Very
compared to what you.
sophisticated, very sophisticated. The way
Right.
we're doing it, I mean, this is really nice compared. You're right, Furqan. What I mean, I've tried, looked up online as well. No one comes close to this. I mean, yes, you may find people on like very, I mean, very hardly. When you do a lot of research and probably you end up, landing onto one website where someone is explaining how this is done correctly, and this is done correctly.
That's definitely true. So this is one thing we benefited a lot from Afibai and from our mentoring sessions is that we understood how to create the framework in the right way, not like in test cases writing driver.findby. That's extremely horrible practice. And nowhere will you find how to compromise your expats and stuff like that. I mean, you'll find it, but there's no really good description anywhere.
True.
How to really get better expats, how to go in your fire path and look for certain elements using your expat and all those things. Um, Besides that, if you're actually good at mobile automation, you get these things we're doing, these mentoring sessions we're presenting, and what Matthew Pai went over in class, and the sample framework he's given us. If you are actually able to understand all of this at maybe a